أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
हम पढ़े
हाँ पढ़ लो ना
अऊज़ु बिल्लाहि मिनश शैतानिर रजीम बिस्मिल्लाहिर रहमानिर रहीम
तो कुरान को कैसे पढ़ा जाता है थोड़ा सा हाँ मेलोडियस इट शुड बी मेलोडियस कुरान शुड बी melodious right
अच्छा
okay Amna are you with me
Gee, sorry, I was just moving
okay
upstairs.
so that's why it is known as Quran is known as Wahi Matlu. Do you know what Wahi means? Wahi is an inspired message from Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Literally, we mean by Wahi, revelation is known as secret message. Understand? So, Quran is known as Wahi Matlu. Matlu means that we can do tilawat. Okay? And there is another form of Wahi that is known as type of Wahi that is known as Wahi Ghair Matlu. What is Wahi Ghair Matlu? It is the sayings of the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. It is the saying of the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. These are also form of revelation. Type of revelation, sorry. The word is type of revelation, which is from the God Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's why whatever Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam utters, whatever Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam utters, that is all based on Wahi. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in a direct guidance from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There is a very sweet story in which Amr ibn al-As radiallahu ta'ala anhu, who was the one of the companion and the writer of the revelation as well, Katib Wahi. So he once stopped writing and said, so Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam asked, why did you stop writing? And Amr ibn al-As said that sometime you are, you know, casual in your mood. So I feel like that I shouldn't write something. So the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said that I take oath on the name of Allah that whatever this tongue utters is nothing but haqq, is nothing but truth. Even the time when Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam used to cut jokes with his companion, that was also based on some true information. For example, one of the Badwan, do you know what Badwan is? Badwan कौन होते हैं? No, Badwan are the villagers.
अच्छा
So the Makkah was basically a civilization. It was a city, but then there were Badwans, the villagers. They were living in the suburb areas of Makkah and away from Makkah as well. Okay. For example, in Pakistan, the population in the cities is not more than 30%. So 75% of population lives in villages, and same is the case with you guys. So cities, the villages are always, you know, in percentage, they have a huge population than the cities. So one of the Badwan came to the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and said, "Oh Muhammad, they used to be very blunt." Okay, so he said, "Oh Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, why don't you give me camel from Betul Mal, from the reserve finance of the Muslims, Betul Mal? You know what Betul Mal is?
riches
रिचेस कह सकते हैं या ट्रेजर कह सकते हैं, ट्रेजरी कह सकते हैं, ठीक है ना जी। आपके यहाँ फेडरल रिजर्व इज दी is the one that is responsible for the finances of your country, right? So Baitul Mal is a place, is a financial reserve that is basically the property of the Muslims of that place. Understand? So the Prophet Muhammad said, okay, I'm going to give you a camel, and asked from one of his companion, gave him the baby of camel. And the Badun became very much anxious and started shouting, oh Prophet, why are you giving me the baby of camel? The Prophet Muhammad said, oh my Sahabi, oh my companion, isn't every single camel a baby of a camel? So even in his jokes, that was a joke, right? So even in his jokes, he used to be very much upright. He used to be very much on the basis of true and haq. Okay, ji. So let's start. So there are two types of revelation that I told you. One is matlu, that we can do tilawa. Tilawat. What is tilawat?
Quran recitation.
Recite in a very melodious form. So if you do not read Quran in a melodious form, that is tilawa, it is not, I would say, permissible or advisable. And on the other hand, the hadiths of the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu, the sayings of the Prophet, although they are a form of wahi, but it is not allowed that we start narrating it or start reading it in a form of revelation or recitation. Sorry, revelation is recitation. So let's see the fazail of Surah Fatiha. Abu Sa'id Maula reported as in Bukhari, I was praying when the Prophet called me. I did not reply. I went to him after I had finished praying. He asked me, what prevented you from answering me? I said, I was praying. He said, has not Allah said in the Quran, believers respond to Allah and the Messenger when He calls you unto that which will give you life. So, if the Prophet Muhammad SAW is calling within the prayer, it is an emergence, right? Then he said, along with me, say, before you leave the mosque, I will tell you about most important surah of the Quran. When he began to stroll out with his hand in mine, I reminded him of his promise. And he said, yes, it is the Alhamd, Surah Al Fatiha. What is Alhamd? Surah Al Fatiha. And it is known as Sab'a Masani as well. So, Surah Fatiha is also known as Sab'a Masani. What is Sab'a Masani? Sab'a means seven. We start from Wahid, one, Isnain, two, Thalatha, three, Arba, four, Khamsa, five, Sitta, six, Sab'a means seven. Okay. Masani means the one that is repeating. So don't you see that we repeat the ayat, the seven ayat of Surah Fatiha in our every single rakat. That is known as Sab'a Masani. So in Quran, Allah says, وَلَقَدْ آتَيْنَاكَ سَبْعًا مِنَ الْمَثَانِي وَالْقُرْآنَ الْعَظِيمِ. We have give you seven ayat that are repeating. Sa'id ibn Khuzri says, a woman came to us when he halted at a place during a journey. She said, our chief has been stung by a scorpion and our men are away. Is there anyone amongst you who can treat him with a charm? One of our men, about whom he did not know he worked with the charms, went up and treated the man with some spell words. He was cured and gifted us 30 goats. He also sent us some milk. When he returned, we asked the men somewhat accusingly, are you an expert at charms or are you a practitioner, he said, no, I merely treated him with the Kitab. So, what is Kitab? He said, let us not talk about it until we have reached to the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu when he when we were back in Medina and mentioned the affair to him, he said, how did the man know that it works as a charm also? Divide the goats among yourself and allot me a share. Ibn Kasir. So Abu Dawood also another version which says that the men treated him with Surah Al-Fatiha for 3 consecutive days, during which he would recite the surah on him and then gathering his spit on him. ठीक है, हल्का सा ना वो जैसे फूक मार देते हैं. This author has witnessed a successful Muslim charmer spit powerfully as if were on a real visible enemy. The report also adds that when consulted, the Prophet ﷺ said, you earned the goats with a permissible charm. ठीक है, उसको तोहफे के तौर पे goats दी गई. Azim Abdi quotes from Mirqat al-Qari that proves that it is allowed to charge fee for an Islamical legal charms. ठीक है? Imam Ahmad and Tirmizi, who classified the report Hasan Sahih, have recorded that when on one occasion Abu Ka'b read his surah to the Prophet, he said, وَالَّذِي نَفْسِي بِيَدِهِ مَا أَنزَلْتُ فِي التَّوْرَاةِ وَلَا فِي الْإِنْجِيلِ وَلَا فِي الزَّبُورِ وَلَا فِي الْفُرْقَانِ مِثْلَهَا. क्या मतलब है इसका? इसका मतलब है कि there is nothing like Surah Fatiha, not in Injil, not in Torah, not in Zabur, and not in even Quran. It is a unique formation of ayat that can be used to cure someone. If you read that Quranic ayat on someone who is not feeling well, just do the charm. It is दम जिसको हम कहते हैं ना उर्दू में, ठीक है ना जी, cure him with these 7 ayat. You can use it as charm as well. Okay, say subhanallah everyone.
Subhanallah.
Subhanallah.
Any question till here?
No.
Amina.
No, none.
So I have so many questions. In its origin, the word surah stands for the height. Surah stands for the
Height.
Right.
okay. So ये इसका literal meaning है elevation. ठीक है. The present divisions or chapters of the Quran have been so called perhaps because they rise the reader from one stage of knowledge and spirituality, al advancement, to another higher stage. Allahu Akbar. So every ayat that you will learn from this lecture or in upcoming lecture, for every single ayah, your placement would be higher than the previous one. Okay, say again subhanallah. And that
Subhanallah.
is just not based of
Subhanallah.
knowledge, that is based on your spirituality as well. Okay, so nowadays you can see in the society that is totally material based on materialistic goods, right? Concept based on matter. The spirituality has died within us. So when we intact our knowledge with Quran and start reading Quran and learning Quran, our spirituality evolves. Okay. The word is also used for the walls. Which word? Which word? Tell
The
me.
one that means spirituality?
No, the word surah. That is
Oh,
I understand. So surah the one meaning of surah is elevation from one daraja to the next daraja state. The next is the word is also used for the walls or fortification. यानी वो जो किला होता है ना उसको कहते हैं of a city. Have you seen those किला? किला समझते हो?
no.
ठीक है. That is the basically That is the basically wall that prevents the enemies to attack on any city. The boundary walls. So
Okay.
that is known as killa in Urdu. Okay. So one of the meaning of surah is basically this wall that prevents you from what? Another reason for this usage, since each surah encompasses many ayat within itself, okay, and guards them from spilling into other parts of the Quran. Subhanallah. Say, do you understand the meaning of surah now?
Yeah.
So surah is basically a sort of a fortification of every group of ayat that you does not intermingles with the other chapter. And there are 114 chapter in the Quran that are written in the form of tawqifi. We stop our lecture till here and let me tell you what tawqifi is. So Quran was descended on the Prophet Muhammad sallam in a form of a writing or in a form of a descendants that is known as nuzuli. Do you understand what nuzuli is? Nuzuli is
No.
basically, for example, what was the first ayah that was revealed to the Prophet?
Surah Kahf.
Yeah.
Which one? Surah Alaq, right? So Iqra bismi rabbika alladhi was the first ayah. But if you open the Quran, the first ayah is not Iqra bismi rabbika alladhi khalaq. It is Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. That is known as Tawqifi. So the Prophet Muhammad sallam told us where to exactly preserve the ayah in the Quran, although it was revealed before or after. Understand?
Mm-hmm.
But Tawqifi, do you understand the difference between Nuzuli and Tawqifi now? And
हाँ
Prophet Muhammad
समझ
Uh,
sallam. Yes, can you tell me please?
और surahs और تشريع كم تبلتي
Hmm.
तो كيف يبغى كم تبلا رغليو और كم تقول meaning okay और نزولا
Nuzuli.
नजूली वो क्या कहते हैं जो नाजिल हुआ था अल्लाह की तरफ से सीधा सीधा
जो आयत की तरतीब जिस हिसाब से नाजिल हुआ, क्या कुरान उसी हिसाब से लिखा हुआ है?
नहीं
No, that is Tawqifi. The exact location of ayah Prophet Muhammad sallam told us. Do not write Surah Alaq on the beginning, write in the 30th para, for example. Hmm? ठीक है, तो उस वो आफ्टर यानी बिफोर, उससे पहले कौन सी सूरह आती है? सूरह अलग से पहले या सूरह अलग के बाद कौन सी सूरत आती है? इन बिफोर लैलतुल कद्र, सूरतुल कद्र. Okay, so that is known as तरतीबे तौकीफी. Okay, so today we learn two technical terms. Can somebody tell me what is that?
तौकीफी और तौतीब
Or Nazuli, तरतीबे
नजूली
तौकीफी and Nazuli, and the other one is wahi matlu and ghair matlu. Can someone tell me the meaning of matlu and ghair matlu?
कुम चतासु कौनी मतलब फर्ज और कुम चतासु नवई कौनी मतलब सुन्नत
नहीं.
नहीं
Can you tell me, Amna, the meaning of
no.
wahi matlu and ghair matlu? This is one of the question that I have asked in my MCQs from the students. So wahi matlu is the one that we can recite, and that is Quran. And wahi ghair matlu is the sayings of the Prophet Muhammad sallam, although they are also type of a wahi or revelation, but we cannot recite it. So matlu comes from tilawat. Now can you tell me please?
The way is basically what came from the Quran, like all the things that we can recite, and then
Yeah.
the ghay matlu is the words of the Prophet.
Hmm. So it is a kind of a, and what is recitation? It is a kind of a melodious voice, right?
Yeah.
So it's not a paragraph. You do not recite a paragraph. You recite a Quran or a revelation, right? Are you I mean, is this enough for today, or do you want to go? Let me. Hmm? Do you want
Whatever
me to
works for
continue
you.
or enough?
Whatever works for you, I'm good with that.
Okay. So what about Dilaवर?
जैसा आपको अच्छा लगता है।
अच्छा जी, चले जब stop कर देना मुझे, ठीक है? So the name of the chapters is also तौकीफी, ठीक है? So यहाँ पे इसने एक और नई बात की है कि name of the chapters, there are 114 chapters, okay? And the name of those chapters are also told by the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam himself, okay? So which means that they were not descended, okay? That's why there are sometime name of surah more than one, okay? जैसे अभी मेरे ध्यान में आएगा कोई सूरह है कि जिनके दो दो नाम है ना, बहुत सारी सूरतें ऐसी जिनकी दो दो नाम है, भी ध्यान में आ जाएंगी. So this surah Al-Fatiha has many other names. अब ये खुद आ गए example. For example, Ummul Quran and Sab'a Masani. ठीक है? Mother of Quran. Ummul Quran. It has two names. And Sab'a Masani, I told you, what does that mean? Sab'a means seven. And Masani means?
30.
Seven means repeat. Masani means the seven ayat that are time and again repeating. You keep on repeating them, right? Understand?
हाँ
अब
जी।
तो
Yeah.
बता दो
हाँ,
सबा मसानी का क्या मतलब है?
सबा मसानिया का मतलब है जो रिपीट होता है, जो बार बार आता है और आपको करना चाहिए, और मसानिया का मतलब ये होता है कि बस जो खाली 7 दफा आता है।
नहीं, सबा अल मसानी इज वन वर्ड, इट इज नॉट टू वर्ड. आमना, कैन यू टेल मी?
It means the ayat that will be repeated 7 times.
No, these are the seven ayats of Surah Al-Fatiha that are repeated time and again.
Oh.
Am I making sense to you now?
Yeah.
जी।
So we repeat these ayat in every single rakat of our namaz, right? Salat. So as for the names of the chapters, sometimes they bear relationship with the theme and contents of the chapter. Okay. For example, Surah Baqarah. Baqarah means cow. So there is a story of cow in Surah Baqarah. So that's why we relate the name with the surah. Okay. So sometimes it is the theme of the surah or context. There, that is, it was revealed during the Makkan period. And not, अच्छा जी, हम थोड़ा सा जरा वो कर गए हैं. Do not often a word of the surah has been picked out as its name, Al-Baqarah. That is, it was revealed during the Makkan period. Do you know what Makkan period is?
जब मक्का में थे
During the
पापा।
time, during the time that the Prophet was in Mecca.
Well, technically, we'll say that after he migrated to Medina. So before that time, after he migrated to Medina, that is Madani period. And before migration, it is?
मक्की।
Yes, it is Makki. There is no consensus among the scholars over many of the chapters whether they are Makkan or Madinan. This is also true. Even when there is consensus, nor the whole surah can be said to be certainty of this or that period. For both the Makkan and Madinan chapters can contain a verse or more of the other period. Further, there are certain verses that were revealed twice, once during the Makkan period and again during in the Medina period. So why this bifurcation is helping us? Is it helpful or not? So understanding Quran, it really helps us. The Makki period, it has some specifications. It has some attributes of ayat in the ayah of Quran. For example, in the Meccan period, more emphasis was on the aqidah, belief. قل هو الله أحد قل يا أيها الكافرون لا أعبد ماتا, I do not worship the God that you worship. Okay, so that is the belief. While if you go to Medina, the verses are relatively bigger in size, larger in size, and the emphasis is on akhlaq, on manners. The emphasis is on halal and haram. Understand? While in Madani, in Makki ayah, the emphasis is on sabr. Okay, keep on, believe the belief ayat are there. Then if we see, if it comes ya ayyuhal, if the ayah starts from ya ayyuhallazina amanu, O believers, then can you make a guess? Is it a Makki ayah or Madani ayah?
मक्की,
Why would you say that?
क्योंकि सबको बता रहे हैं ना कि सुन्नत क्या है।
नहीं, आमनु में सिर्फ मुसलमान आते हैं। ए ईमान वालों, ईमान वाले कौन थे? मुसलमान थे। मक्का में तो मुशरिकीन भी थे। आई मीन मक्का में बिलीवर्स बहुत कम थे। सो या अय्युहल्लज़ीना आमनु जब आ जाएगा तो हमें समझ में आ जाएगा कि इट इज एन आया दैट वाज रिवील्ड इन मदीना। जब आएगा ना या अय्युहन नास, ए इंसानों, एट दैट टाइम अल्लाह सुब्हानहू व तआला वाज कॉलिंग अपॉन ऑल द ह्यूमैनिटी। क्योंकि हलाल और हराम का ताल्लुक इंसानों के साथ तो नहीं है ना, इट इज रिलेटेड टू मुस्लिम्स, बट बिलीफ का ताल्लुक इंसानों के साथ है। सो अल्लाह वुड से या अय्युहन नास। So we will come to know this is a Makki ayah. This is not a Madani ayah. I hope you're enjoying, right?
हाँ जी।
Marked differences in the language, style, diction, and subject matter can be noticed between those passages that were revealed before Hijrah and those after. हमने इस पे बात कर ली है. However, one can work the other way round and treat the differences as criteria to decide if certain words are Makkan and Madinan. Sometime we are very much sure that the ayah is of Makkah period or Medinan period, but sometime we use qiyas or analogy to understand, is it a Madani ayah or is it a Makki ayah? So this is a sort of a chapter, a sort of a point that all the exegesis writers, the tafsir writers, they ponder upon, they think upon, they work upon it. Okay, because इसमें से फिर meaning understand करना आसान हो जाता है. A mistake often committed by commentary commentators, only those part of Quran are, वो कहता है कि अच्छा ये हमने बात कर लिया. Only those parts of Quran are of certain Meccan and Madani period that have an authentic report in support. Why am I teaching you these points? Because once we start tafsir of Quran, you must have a you must have a background of the manual of Quran. You must understand. For example, if you buy a car, if you buy a Tesla, they will give you a manual that you have to drive the car according to the manual. So Quran has its own manual. If you do not enculture your thinking or your research style, okay, according to the manual of Quran, sometime Quran will mislead you. That is not basically fault of Quran, but you ignored the manual. That is your problem. Understand? So, any question till here?
नहीं।
Acha. Only those parts of Quran are for certain Makkan or Madin that have an authentic report in support. यहाँ पे ये कहता है कि नहीं, हमें एनोलॉजी बिल्कुल यूज नहीं करनी चाहिए, बल्कि हमारे पास ऑथेंटिक रिपोर्ट होगी प्रॉफिट मोहम्मद सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम की, देन वी विल एक्सेप्ट दैट इज इट मक्कन और मदनी. ठीक है, बट आई वुड से एनोलॉजी आल्सो वर्क्स हियर. Where such reports do not exist, it is anybody's guess. Further, even with a firm report about the period of revelation, it is very difficult to establish whether a particular portion was revealed during the early, middle, or last days of the Meccan or Madanian period, trying to fix up the period of the revelation. In such cases, therefore, can have its basic only in conjectures. चलो रहने दो इसको. So आया, what is आया? अभी तक हमने क्या जिक्र किया था? आयात का, सूरा का. Now we'll come to the ayat. Are you I mean thak? Is it
नहीं
enough
नहीं
for today? Okay, then
नहीं,
I'll
इस बार से
continue.
था क्या?
Should I continue, please?
हाँ
Amna, where are you?
Yeah, I'm right here.
Yes, no, karo na. If you feel like it is enough, I'll stop. Aya in the original, the smallest unit of surah, stands for a sign or a miracle. ठीक है? So ayat का linguistic meaning क्या है?
साइन और
Stands
मेरिकल.
for sign
Sign or a
or
milika. Yeah, very good, very good. It is every verse of the Quran is a sign of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and a miracle in itself. The word of the original, for instance, forgotten by one who knows who whole words by heart, cannot be substituted with an equivalent word to complete the verse without he himself feeling that it is unlike the original in structure and meaning. So even a skip of a single word, the ayah will not be completed. Is this true meaning what I, or do you say what this paragraph means? Do you understand what this paragraph says?
जी.
Hmm. So किसी भी, वो कहते हैं कि each word is very much important in the ayah, that is completing the ayah. I understand this from this paragraph. As the chapters, the present arrangement of the verses is also तौकीफी. अब मैं बार बार नहीं बताऊंगा तौकीफी क्या होता है. Do you understand this line?
हाँ थोड़ा सा.
As the chapter, the present arrangement of the verses is also tawqifi. The surah is also tawqifi, the verse is also tawqifi. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ used to dictate the verse in this order, recite them in and out of prayer in this order, as well as recite the whole of the Quran. Okay, once in a year to Jibreel alayhi salam, in a month of Ramzan in the same order. तरतीब है कौन से ऑर्डर में?
सेम सेम.
in the same order.
सेम ऑर्डर का क्या मतलब है यहाँ पे?
मतलब डायरेक्टली ऊपर से नीचे से ऊपर.
तौकीफी ये डायरेक्टली होगा? आर यू श्योर? आई डोंट थिंक, तो मेरे ख्याल है डायरेक्ट ऑर्डर में आप सल्लम सुनाते थे. आई डोंट थिंक सो.
नहीं.
दोबारा पढ़ लेते हैं. As the chapters, the present arrangement of the verse is also tawqifi. The Prophet Muhammad used to dictate the verse in this order, recite them in and out of the prayers in this order, as well as recite the whole of the Quran once in a year to Jibreel alayhi salam in the month of Ramzan in the same order, that is tawqifi, not nazuli. अगर वो होता ना जो जो तुम कह रहे हो कि सेम ऑर्डर जो है, यानी वो अगर नजूली होता तो फिर आप सल्लम इक़रा बिस्मि रब्बिकल लज़ी से पढ़ते, जबकि आप सल्लम तौकीफी स्टाइल से पढ़ रहे हैं. ठीक है. द टोटल नंबर ऑफ वर्सेस इन द कुरान इज 6200 and odd, there being some differences as over the count. Majid mentions on the authority of Al-Itqan fi Ulumul Quran. This is a book of sciences of Quran that says that total verses are 6616 of words. He gave 77,934 of the letter 3,23,000. ठीक है ना जी. 760 इसको हम क्या कहेंगे?
3,373,000.
इसको वो आप कैसे कहते हैं? 323,000 कह लेंगे. Drawing attention to the pains the lovers of the Quran have borne with pleasure. So the fifth point is shayateen are form of jinn who are corporal beings created from fire. they are endowed with reason. They multiply and grow in number just like other living creatures of the jinn. Some have submitted to Allah, other have not. Those that have not submitted to shayateen, although invisible to human eye, occasional contacts are not ruled over. For example, my mother-in-law, she has a contact with jinn.
Huh.
Yeah, so they come at the night and wake her up. These are the good jinns. So
Rosanna.
this
Oh.
contact, yeah, that's it. That is true. So उसको छोटा बच्चा भी आता है. A small kid also come. Sometime an old person come wearing white clothes. She tells us. So they wake him up. Sometimes she really becomes very much, disturbed because of this happening timing and again with them. So that is a very, very rare contact occasion it happens, but normally it does not happens. Okay. According to one of the opinion in Umdatul Qari, that is also a very beautiful book of Badruddin Aini, they can run through the human body. We know that, right? So, how Shaitan runs in our blood? He sits on our left shoulder, I think so, and then point his beak into our nerves and then runs into our veins like the blood. The opinion itself is based on a hadith. ये पता नहीं ये इधर क्यों चला गया, इसकी मुझे समझ नहीं आती. In common parlance, everything that has a rebellious nature is called shaitan. When Umar was given a horse that he could not bring to control, the he demounted saying, "You gave me a shaitan." यहाँ पे क्यों आ गया, मुझे समझ में नहीं आ रही ये बात. शैतान और मेंस एक्सटर्न या पढ़ लेना खुद, ठीक है, जिनके बारे में. I can also send you the notes.
Mm-hmm.
So I think so it's enough for today. There
ठीक
are
है.
many.
Yeah.
The word, अच्छा 6 point पढ़ लेते, point 6 आ गया. The word in its origin refers to one who has been stoned. In its origin refers to one who has been stoned. In the abstract sense, it means one who has been banished from Allah's mercy, or more generally accursed. अच्छा ये हम वो चूंकि काट काट के पढ़ रहे हैं तो कोई सेंस नहीं पड़ी. That is formula known as Bismillah. अच्छा 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 अच्छा, अब समझ में आ गया. तुम बताओ what I was missing. ये जो शैतान की बात जो शुरू हुई है ना, आउज़ु बिल्लाहि मिनश शैतानिर रजीम से स्टार्ट हुई है.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, Quran starts with Auzu Billahi Shaitanir Rajeem. So everything that is rebellious is known as Shaitan. That's why Umar Razil said it has to be a Shaitan when it was not being controlled, right? So what is Bismillah? That this formula known as Bismillah is the verse of the Quran. There can be no difference of opinion. इन व्यू ये आपको ये बता रहे हैं कि ये जो आयात कुरान की हैं, द आयात ऑफ कुरान, द वर्ड्स ऑफ कुरान, व्हाई वी आर नॉट we don't have consensus on that exact number of ayat or Quran are different. Did you hear that in the earlier commentary? He said that some say that it is like 6,600. Okay, the other says that no, it is not 6,000, it is like 6,300 or something like that. So where did the other ayat go? So basically the problem is, if you say Auzubillah or Bismillah, this is the part of the Quran, then the ayat, number of ayat will increase. But if you say no, Quran Auzubillah Bismillah is not part of the Quran, then the ayat will decrease. And same is the case with the numbers. Do
Mm.
you get it?
हाँ.
Yeah.
Okay, but okay, in view of 30 of Al Namal, in Namal, Allah says Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Hmm? And where Allah does not say Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, can somebody tell me? It is Surah Tawbah.
हाँ.
Surah Tawbah, in which Allah does not say Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Okay, ji, is disputed. In any case, saying the Bismillah before recitation of the Quran is Sunnah. Further, coming as it does here at the beginning of the Quran, it sets right man's relationship with Allah. I hope कि ज़्यादा लंबा नहीं हो रहा है.
नहीं.
अच्छा जी, 8th point, ये आप फिर खुद पढ़ लें, मुझे तो बड़ा मजा आ रहा है. Allah, according to the best authorities, is a proper noun par excellence without derivation. ठीक है, अल्लाह के नाम को डिराइव नहीं कर सकते हैं. You cannot derive Allah's name. It does not have any masculine, it does not have any feminine, it does not have any plural, it does not have any singular. You cut one word of Allah and it becomes lillah. You cut another word, it becomes lahu. You cut another word, it becomes hu. All of the words refer to the Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the word Allah is unique, it is absolute, it is supreme, it is tender, it is mighty, it is gracious, begin and compassionate. Say subhanallah, bro.
Subhanallah.
Acha ji. So the 9th is Al-Rab. So Bismillah भी पढ़ ली हमने, Auzu Billah भी हमने पढ़ ली, अल्लाह का लफ्ज भी पढ़ लिया, अल्हम्दुलिल्लाहि रब. अब हम कहाँ पे पहुंच गए?
My Lord.
रब पे पहुंच गए. So what is Rab? Rab is sustainer. So you need to also watch my video on YouTube. That is based on category of Tawheed, okay? In which I have explained very extensively category of Tawheed. Understand?
जी.
So all of my students, when they come into the class, I give them those lectures online as well, so that they may listen extra commentary. Al-Rab, and then there is another video or YouTube video. I can send you both of the video. That is basically known as category of shirk. Okay. So what is opposing Tawheed? Shirk is opposing Tawheed. So I have made 2 videos on this concept. Okay. So I'll send you. You can also listen to the video while driving or while in a casual mode. You can listen them. So what is Ar-Rabb? Sustainer is a poor substitute for this word, since in Arabic it signifies Majidi, a being who creates a things and then develop it gradually. That exactly the Rabb means. Huh? It creates and then develops it gradually in steps. That's how the whole universe came into being, right? Allah did not created it in a single go. It created it and developed it gradually. You know that, like it came to the Big Bang theory. Do you know that the Big Bang theory?
जी.
In which the scientists say it was evolved in billions of years, right? Until it has achieved its optimum development, and then Rabb, at the time the development is optimum. Okay. Asad writes, the Arabic expression Rabb embraces a wide complex of meanings nor easily expressed by a single term in another language. So Rabb has no substitute in any other language. It comprises the idea of having a just claim to the possession of anything and consequently authority over it, as well as rearing अच्छा बस हो गया मेरा ख्याल है आप लोगों का बस हो गया. चलो जी आगे आलमीन हम पढ़ लेते हैं and then it is enough for today. Okay, what is alameen? Alameen is plural of the collective noun alam. Okay, what is alam? Of which itself no singular form is available. Okay.
Okay.
अब मैं दोबारा पढ़ूंगा. So alameen is a plural of the collective noun alam. Okay, and then you don't have any singular for the word alam. It is derived from alama. Alama. Allama होगा मेरा ख्याल है. Alama, which means a sign. Since अच्छा अलामा है. अलामा, अलामत समझते हो? अलामत उर्दू में कहते हैं अलामत है. किसी चीज
No.
की अलामत है. ठीक है. सो अलामत क्या है? इट इज अ साइन signifies that there is a creator who brought it in being. Okay. There are, so ये जो ब्रैकेट्स में नाम लिखे हुए हैं ना, ये बेसिकली कमेंटेटर्स के नाम है. ओके. There are various opinions about the connect connotation of the term alamun, alamun, but they are all led to the same meaning. The opinion of Ibn Abbas is that it is the word of the jinn and mankind that have been alluded to. Alluded का क्या मतलब होगा?
Alluded
गलत
like
तरफ.
sent a different direction kind of thing.
Okay, we can search the meaning. नहीं, मैंने तो अपना निकाला. Suggest, imply, mention, touch on, cite, refer to. Alluded to means referred to. So again we say opinion of Ibn Abbas. Ibn Abbas is one of the greatest mufassirin of Quran, the exegesis of Quran. He's one of the most greatest, to whom the Prophet Muhammad sallam prayed that Allahumma allimhu at-ta'wil, Allahumma faqihhu fid deen. O Allah, grant him understanding for the deen, and wa'allimhu at-ta'wil, and make him understand the knowledge of interpretation. तो जिसको अल्लाह के रसूल की दुआ लग गई वो तो फिर सुभान अल्लाह. So Khudri says there are 40,000 words of Allah's creation. Say subhan Allah.
Subhanallah.
Subhanallah.
Our world from one end to the other is one of them. Qatada says it includes all that there is apart from Allah. Okay, apart from Allah, everything is alam. Okay, we cannot say alam to Allah. Yusuf Ali, one of the exegetes, say there are many words: astronomical and physical world, world of thought, spiritual world, and so on. In every one of them, God is all in all. आलम. तो यहाँ पे क्या है? आलम का उसने क्या मतलब लिया? God is all in all. नहीं, बस 10th point हम आलम को डिस्कस कर रहे हैं, and then enough. Another possible allusion could be to 7 firmaments or universes. So 7 universes that Allah has mentioned in the Quran. Finally, as we all know, everyone lives in the world of his own. Okay? तो जो भी साइज है आलम का, अल्लाह इज ऑल इन ऑल. हम ये कह सकते हैं. Can you tell what did you get grasp from this commentary of alam?
अल्लाह मींस ऑल नोइंग, और हम जो भी कुछ हमें पता है ना उन्हें पहले से पता है, और जो भी कुछ हमें नहीं पता वो भी उन्हें पता है.
ठीक है. सो आलम के साथ इसको कनेक्ट करो, द वर्ड आलम. सो आलम,
जी जी.
That he's in everything that we do and everything that we see.
yeah, but you connect this meaning with the alam. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. So alam, he says, uh, it could be in your thoughts. He's in your thoughts as well. Rabbil Alameen, he is in your spiritual world as well. Rabbul Alameen. ठीक है. And he is in your material world as well. He is in universe. He is in multiverse. So whatever may be the size and shape of alam, Allah is all in all. He is everywhere. So if he is in every alam, in every state of, I would say, uh, even if you are in a spiritual state or in a material state, Allah is all in all and He knows everything. Okay, so I will stop. So the 10th point you will read it. Okay, so we'll start with the 11th point. There is a hadith, वो फिर हम कल कर लेंगे, ठीक है? I hope you guys enjoyed the lecture.
जी
Thank you.
अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह.
Salam, and we have recorded this as well.
Okay.
बस you